Donald Trump has invited Zohran Mamdani to the White House for a meeting.
Just moments ago, literally in the commercial break, Donald Trump announced on social media he will meet with New York Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani this Friday in two days. It just so happens I spoke with the mayor-elect just an hour ago. Take a listen. Joining me now is New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Nice to have you here, Mr. Mayor-elect.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Is the White House meeting real? Who knows what's real these days, but do you understand it as a real thing?
We did reach out to the White House, and my team reached out because of a commitment that I made to New Yorkers, that I would be willing to meet with anyone and everyone so long as it was to the benefit of the 8.5 million people who call the city home and their struggle to afford the most expensive city in the United States of America.
Unshakable. That's right. It was actually prompted by Mamdani's team, and he has said he is unconcerned about it being a trap, and in addition, that he is genuinely going over there to talk about his affordability mandate for New York City.
Do you think a lot of people go into meetings with Donald Trump, I think, thinking they're going to be the one to get over on him? And I sometimes often think, I've watched this now for 10 years, they screw up because they think they underestimate him. Like, what is your goal for a meeting with Donald Trump? What do you want to come out of a meeting with Donald Trump?
I want to just speak plainly to the president about what it means to actually stand up for New Yorkers and the way in which New Yorkers are struggling to afford this city. And frankly, cost of living is something that I heard time and time again from New Yorkers about why they voted for Donald Trump. And this is something that is only continued in the last few months of this year, where we're hearing about childcare concerns, rent concerns, Con Ed concerns, even just getting on the bus just $2.90. And just to make it clear to the president that this is what we're talking about, these are the stakes for New Yorkers and their ability to keep calling this city their home.
Have you had any moment?
It's really, really smart, because it's been shown over and over again with Trump that he's A, very susceptible to flattery, B, tends to repeat the last thing that he's heard. I mean, God, remember his, it's a new word, affordability. No one was saying it before, and now they're all saying it right after Mamdani won the election, right? Like, his Jesus, you know? And in addition, I think Mamdani, I'm so sorry, Mamdani, I'm sorry, I'm playing up Cuomo here, recognizes that, Mamdani, he recognizes that Donald Trump is very unideological, like he's very wooed mostly just by his personal experiences with people. It's a 1980s businessman thing, right? If you give him a firm handshake, he'll think more of you and everything you propose. If you can't maintain eye contact, he'll probably think less of you. It's all a bunch of, how to make friends and influence people, art of the deal bullshit. He's very, very susceptible to that. I think it's not a matter of Trump being smart. It's that Trump has a very good instinct for I guess I can't really call it business, for interpersonal interactions, especially with regard to showing weakness or strength. And he is very good at that. He is very, very good at that. I think it's one of the reasons why Donald Trump displays such open seething contempt for people like Schumer and Jeffries, who we all know are incredibly weak, and shows a bunch of respect to people like Putin and Xi Jinping, who are, strongmen. It's not even ideology, right? It's just he's reflexively deferential to those people.
Sense of buyer's remorse since you won?
No, I haven't. Because
there hasn't been a moment where you're like, oh my God, this job is insane. Come on.
I've enjoyed it. But, buyer's remorse would imply we were trying to buy the election. That was actually other people in the campaign. But
I mean, just imposter syndrome. I don't know. Has there been a moment where someone's reading you in on some detail of hey, here's how the sewage system works. Here's how this works, where you're like, oh, wow, I had no idea that was in my purview.
I have to be honest with you. It's more the excitement of being able to serve the city that I love, and just getting able to understand the granularity of what makes our city run every single day. An incredible
That's
work.
What I mean. I mean, the amount that's invisible, right?
Yeah.
To make all of this work is shocking.
And you leave with a newfound appreciation for this city and the people whose names you don't know, who do the work that you would rather not do every single day. And those people do that work no matter who the mayor is. And I'm excited to be a mayor that recognizes their work, supports them in that work, and also understands that I'm a New Yorker and I'm going to have to deal with the opinions of many New Yorkers every single day. And sometimes they'll sound like they're supporting me when they're yelling at me, and that's fine.
There's two parts of the exit polling that jumped out at me. And everyone says, and I think rightly, New York is a very sui generis place. It's not like a model for
sui generis, I got to be honest with you.
No?
What does pseudogeneric say?
Like completely unique. Like
There we go.
of its own. Good. Okay, good.
I want to be honest with you.
No, I like it. I like that.
No idea where we're
I'm
going.
like self-conscious. I'm like, yeah. So,
No, you're good.
But I think it's hard. I think it's a hard place to
Unshakable confidence.
export a model, right? But there's two things that struck me. One is young men exit polling at NBC News, where you saw Democrats perform much better than they had in 2024, both in Virginia and New Jersey. But the New York City number jumps out, plus 40. That's a big number. And then I saw an exit poll, and I think this is in some ways the most interesting, is you won 9% of Trump 2024 voters who went to the polls. Now, so people understand, Trump improved his performance in the city from about 37 to about 43% between 20 and 24. 9% of voters, that's an enormous shift. What do you credit that to?
Well, I think what we found is that if you listen to New Yorkers as opposed to lecturing them, they will start to see themselves in your movement. And, last presidential election, there were so many obituaries written for the Democratic Party's ability to get the trust of young people, young men especially, to get the trust of Asian voters, to get the trust.
Obituaries, which were all completely correct, unfortunately. The Democrats have still done literally nothing. Like, the only thing that's changed in between now and Trump winning back in 2024 is that Trump has shit himself loudly and stinkily over and over and over again. The Democrats have done literally nothing to meet that moment. Nothing at all. In fact, they've only continued to capitulate.
Of so many who were feeling left out of this political system. And what we found when we went to Hillside Avenue in Queens, went to Fordham Road in the Bronx, two of the neighborhoods with the largest swings towards Trump, when we asked people, why did you vote for Trump? They said, cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And by focusing on cost of living, as opposed to paying consultants to tell New Yorkers what they should think, we were able to actually craft a campaign where we had someone come to our Forest Hills rally with a hat that said MAGA Mamdani.
You know what I mean? I literally, that's one of those moments where I was like,
hell yeah, brother. Fuck it. Sure.
Is this AI or not? Because you never know these days, but he's real, right? Yeah, he is.
This is real. I'm an expert in AI because my family WhatsApp sends me all the AI videos.
Oh, you get them all.
Like, I didn't know you did this event. I was like, I didn't do this event. This is AI. You know I don't speak that language. Why are you sending this to me?
That's so good. You're getting AI slop of you.
I didn't know you debated the European Parliament member. I didn't debate that.
Oh my God, that's so good. Let me ask you this. You have you're going to be the mayor of New York, and you're going to take on that position at a moment when the Department of Homeland Security has been basically targeting cities for these sort of surges of enforcement. We saw it in LA, we saw it in Chicago, now it's in Charlotte. I don't know if you've seen the videos coming out of Charlotte that are not AI. I mean, really horrific stuff. I mean, American citizens being wrestled to the ground twice in 5 minutes, their car window being broken, teenagers being chased out of church, right? When you look at those and you think about what could be coming to New York, what's your plan here? What's the idea of what to do if and when Bovino and CBP and all those people show up here?
I think first is the recognition.
No, I thought of an unrelated joke where he said these are horrific, and then I'd say that guy at your high school who didn't shower and always bragged about watching gore. That's nothing. Have you seen this cartel video? Hands his phone over to you. So it's completely unrelated. I'm sorry. It's nothing to.
That we're already seeing aspects of that in this city. I was speaking to a number of New Yorkers the other night. A young woman told me in tears about how ICE has tried to detain her aunt on multiple occasions, coming to their door, coming to school drop-off, just leaving her aunt with a feeling like she couldn't even leave their home. I heard from an older Bangladeshi woman who told me that she canvassed for me over the course of this campaign in fear of whether she would be picked up in the course of knocking on doors because she was afraid to even go to the grocery store. And I think what we've seen under this current administration here in New York City is an unwillingness to stand up for the laws we already have here. We have sanctuary city policies, which used to be defended by Democrats and Republicans alike. These are policies that do not allow ICE admission into schools, into hospitals, into any city property or properties of city contractors unless they can show a judicial warrant signed by a judge. And what we know is time and time again, the videos we're watching, they're not videos of warrants being shown. They are videos of brutal intimidation. And it is time to have a mayor of the city who recognizes this risk is a present day one and will stand up.
I'm so fucking nervous for what it's going to look like when he's actually made mayor, when he's inaugurated, and how well he's able to keep that momentum going forward. I'm not nervous about his meeting with Trump. I'm sure he'll kill it. You know, he'll do great. But the actual shift into governing, I've already seen a bunch of people mad at him that he's keeping Tish because she's a ghoul or whatever. There's so many people who are anti-pragmatic who are going to tear into him, you know?
For each and every one of the 3 million immigrants who call the city home, I'm one of them, and an understanding that an attack on any New Yorker is an attack on the entirety of the city.
Jessica Tish, who is the current police commissioner who you announced before Election Day that you would ask to stay on, has said she will stay on. She wrote a letter today announcing that. Are the two of you on the same page on this, on immigration and immigration enforcement?
We are on the same page that it is up to us to deliver public safety for New Yorkers. And the commissioner had told Pam Bondi clearly, we don't need the National Guard in New York City. We have the NYPD to deliver public safety. And I'm going to close the door on the chapter that Eric Adams started to write, where he opened the door on national television to the possibility of the NYPD doing civil immigration enforcement.
A lot of people seem to think you're supposed to be less strategic the further left you go. I just think to a lot of people who consider themselves to be orthodox leftists, the considerations of pragmatism, or even like asking the question, is this something we can even do? They think it's offensive. Like they actually, to them, it is morally wrong to think of it in those terms. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's something dirty about the pragmatism to them, something like cynical or like innately laden with compromise. The question, well, can we win this fight? Can Mamdani, who won with barely 50% of the vote, single-handedly take down the NYPD, the most well-funded, well-organized, well-connected police department on earth? I assume. Probably not. You want to pick fights you can win, and you want to do what you can, you know. It's just there's nothing else you can really do about it, man.
That's never going to happen under my watch because it's time to protect each and every New Yorker.
There's a great headline out of CNBC. No one leaving New York City.
Speaking of pragmatism, did you see Zaran personally attended the NYC DSA forum last night to oppose the endorsement of Chiaosa against Jeffries? Yeah, that's another thing that people are going after him on. And I think it's very interesting. Basically, Mamdani's saying, don't attempt to primary Hakeem Jeffries because you will lose and it will look bad and it will compromise our broader movement. I don't know enough about Chi to really like make an argument for whether or not I agree with Mamdani. Would he actually lose? I haven't investigated that claim. Can we research him? Sure. I still think basically anyone should primary Jeffries, lol. No, because what if they lose? That would look really bad. Progressives dumping a bunch of energy and effort into primarying Hakeem Jeffries and then losing. No. You have to win is the thing. Mamdani's argument essentially is that he doesn't believe she could win. I don't know enough about him to, dispute or support that claim. He's not a DSA member. So it was just about arguing whether or not the DSA should support him. He joined like right now. 3-hour forum, packed Manhattan church, streamed on Zoom. Limited to members of DSA and closed to the press. Mamdani opposed backing Osa, arguing DSA should focus on delivering the agenda New Yorkers voted for in the mayoral election rather than waste resources on a long-shot congressional bid. Yeah, because if the DSA is supporting his congressional bid, that does take away from resources that could be spent in NYC. Yeah, I would have to learn more about Osa. I'd have to. Numerous essays have been written laying out detailed arguments for and against endorsing the council member who only joined the socialist organization earlier this year. One of NYC DSA's two co-chairs, Gustavo Gordillo, has championed the endorsement, while the other co-chair, Grace Mouser, released a public statement opposing it. Guys, this, unironically, is what fucking good political process looks like, you know? We're talking about a robust, powerful, influential, local leftist political organization arguing in a spirited fashion over how to use their resources. It's the ideal. It's the most we can hope for. Whether or not I agree with Mamdani's argument, again, I would need to learn more. Eligible DSA members have until Saturday at 10 p.m. to submit whether or not they believe the DSA should endorse Ose's congressional run. If DSA members do not vote to recommend the endorsement, that will essentially kill Ose's nascent campaign and validate Mamdani's decision to appeal directly to DSA members not to back Ose's likely doomed congressional bid. Why is it Likely doomed. Private poll shows Hakeem Jeffries with 50-point lead over Chiose in hypothetical congressional primary. Well, that is definitely a large lead. I wonder if, I mean, if you, I guess my thought at default would be like, if you were going to pitch somebody forward to challenge Hakeem Jeffries, shouldn't it be somebody, he's the House Minority Leader, shouldn't it be somebody who's well known? I feel like that's not a step one, you know? But Mamdani was also almost zero chance. Yeah, that's true. And that's the difficulty, right? You have to take long shots, but you also have to recognize when your limited political resources are best spent. Yeah, it seems like it's a fair debate. Maybe we'll talk about it more in the future. Right now, I'm more interested in this.
Because of Mamdani, says to two top real estate CEOs. By the way, I would have charged nothing to tell them that this was the case because I've watched this.
People made money off this. You could.
Oh, Chi put out a video appealing to DSA directly. Okay, I'll watch it, but then I'll move on.
NYC DSA members, this can only be done and only be tried in partnership with you. And we must try. The national leader of the Democratic Party could be anywhere in America. And by some random chance, it's a man whose millions from AIPAC become billions for bombs. And he's right here in Brooklyn. I believe we have an obligation of circumstance. It could be by anyone, anywhere, but it's us here. Over $150,000 and 1,000 volunteers.
Is he unpopular in his district? Hakeem Jeffries? No, he's not unpopular within his own district.
Are pre-pledged. This would grow capacity, not strain it. And this will grow black socialism and strengthen the movement for the sake of our neighborhoods and the millions overseas who we will never meet. I'm asking you to vote yes. We have to try.
Centering on AIPAC is a good idea. Not really. Not in the district they're running in. No. Nah, the way to beat Hakeem Jeffries is not with talk like that. The way to beat Hakeem Jeffries is, realistically, probably with a black candidate who is centered mostly on, like, anti-Trumpism. Hakeem Jeffries has been weak on Trump. Hakeem Jeffries has failed time and time again to be the light, you know, the leading figure in the fight against Trump. That's because Hakeem Jeffries is bought up by special interest groups. And here, look at him. He's taking money from the same donors as the Trump Foundation, you know? I feel like the AIPAC stuff isn't going to land in this constituency. Doesn't he represent... Where does Hakeem Jeffries represent? What's his district again? Oh, my keyboard. Oh. 8th? New York 8. Where is that again? Brooklyn? It's part of Brooklyn? Okay. In fairness, he's probably bringing up AIPAC because he's appealing directly to the DSA here, right? Anyway, it's a tough issue. 42% black. Holy shit. I knew Hakeem represented a majority black district. I didn't realize it was... I thought it was like 30 or something. I'm from Brazil. Is 32% supposed to be a lot? 42%. And yeah, the total population of black people in the United States is like 13%. So to have a major metropolitan area, a district as diverse, in a city as diverse as New York, be 42% black is pretty uncommon. It depends on the city, of course. Is it still 13? I don't know. Thereabouts. Well, anyway.
I was watching people make money off it. I'm like, let me tell you, I've watched this time and time again. People leave the city, they're going to leave the city for whatever reason. Yeah. It's not because of you. But do you think the reality of you as mayor is going to be different than maybe some of the most catastrophic predictions and fears in the run-up to the election?
Yes, and
I don't. Jesus.
Come on. I think a large part of it is because of how much of a caricature it became by the end of the campaign. You know, I had a meeting where, because I didn't strangle someone within 30 minutes, they're like, "Wow, you're much more pleasant than I thought you were." Right. And I think this is part of a campaign where there was an attempt to make New Yorkers stay up at night worrying about me, when I knew that New Yorkers were staying up at night worrying about their ability to afford to live in the city. And what we're finding is the fear is unfounded, that we're going to...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the area that's covered by New York 8 is like heavy Cuomo voters. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that lower swoop of Brooklyn was like very yellow in the maps.
build a city that everyone can afford.
Okay. Yeah.
And right now, with about 40 odd days until I become the next mayor of the city, we're hard at work at the transition. And if that is something that you would like to be a part of, go to transition2025.com. Make sure you contribute so that we can build the city hall that we deserve.
You infamously put out a video asking people to stop sending you money.
Yes.
I should note that the money through the public finances system doesn't apply to the transition. You have to raise money to pay the people that are working on the transition.
Yes, there's no 8-to-1 match. That is why I'm here trying to stop call time in its tracks. Make the appeal direct.
Yes,
people across the country.
Look at the camera, and you have to do less call time. Your staffers are going to be very happy that you got that into the camera in New York City.
It's such a stupid system, man. I'm so excited for his meeting with Trump tomorrow.
Right now, Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is speaking with reporters as we speak. These are live images you're seeing here. It was announced that he will travel to meet with President Donald Trump, and that meeting is set at the White House for tomorrow.
And this comes after the two have already made several headlines talking about each other publicly. The president continues to call Mamdani a communist and has even threatened to send federal forces to New York City under a Mamdani administration.
Yep. They've been taking shots at each other, you know? Mamdani has said, I look forward to doing everything I can to deliver an agenda of affordability to the New Yorkers who voted for me. And Trump has said, I will invade you and illegally strip you of federal funds. It's, you know, it's just...
Meanwhile, the mayor-elect says he's planning to discuss public safety, economic security, and affordability with the president today. Our Phil Tate is live, or tomorrow, at City Hall Park, where the mayor-elect is speaking right now. Hey, Phil, I know you were set up and it was all kind of happening right now, so what's going on right now?
Yes, Sam, good morning. All of this happening in real time. Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is speaking live inside City Hall Park. You can see that picture on your screen as he's speaking with reporters, but he just told us moments ago that he'll be headed to Washington, D.C. for that meeting with President Trump. We know that the two, they are polar political opposites and have very different views, but the mayor-elect says that he's willing to work with anyone and on an agenda that will deliver for New Yorkers. Take a listen to what he said just moments ago.
Because I will work with anyone to make life more affordable for the more than 8.5 million people who call this city home. I have many disagreements with the president, and I believe that we should be relentless and pursue all avenues and all meetings that could make our city affordable for every single New Yorker.
And the mayor-elect's remarks a day after we learned of this high-stakes meeting with President Trump that will happen inside of the Oval Office. This is a face-to-face clash between these two political rivals with different views. Now, during the campaign, President Trump had slammed Mamdani, labeling him as a communist and predicting a downfall for the city if he were to be elected, and even threatened to withhold federal funding. Meantime, Mamdani showed no signs of backing down and vowed to stand up to Trump. You can take a look here. President Trump confirming this meeting, taking to Truth Social, saying, quote, communist mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, has asked for a meeting. We have agreed that this meeting will take place at the Oval Office on Friday, November 21st.
He's going to get bowled over. It's such a bad omen for Trump, like for his ability to keep a sturdy spine when talking to Mamdani, that after Mamdani won and attacked Trump pretty aggressively in his victory speech, Trump was, you know, submissive and breedable in his response to it. He really was. Trump really did not fire back that hard. He was like essentially acknowledging Mamdani's victory, you know? How's Fox covering this? I wonder. Wow, fascinating. You uploaded this? Fox News? Fox?
Yeah. So you appointed Jessica Tisch as your next police commissioner yesterday.
No commentary, just the... Okay.
My team reached out to the White House.
Are you concerned that this meeting will actually bear any sort of fruit, or whether it will be another opportunity for him to try to publicly embarrass you? And could you go into any specifics about what you specifically want to ask him, or any specific requests you have for the president in this meeting?
I'm not concerned about this meeting. I view this meeting as an opportunity for me to make my case. And I'll make that case to anyone, frankly, as we've been doing over the course of the campaign. And now, as I will be the next mayor of this city, it behooves me to ensure that I leave no stone unturned in looking to make the city more affordable. And this is a meeting where I look forward to speaking about the affordability agenda, public safety, and economic security for each and every person that calls the city home.
Is it a monk collar? It's literally a normal collar. What are you guys looking at? Chinese collar? You mean a band collar? That's not this is a regular collar. He looks like a Chinese monk. Genuine question. How?
I see the implication being that every commissioner should be a fierce advocate for those that work for their department or their agency. And I look forward to ensuring that that is the case across the entirety of my administration, where when I have a meeting with a commissioner, I know that they are bringing forth the concerns of those that they work with, those that they represent, so that we can ensure that we're actually addressing those concerns. No. This was not a copy of an email that we needed because, frankly, we've been having discussions about the agenda that we share, and I'm not looking to micromanage every single person that works for me. I'm looking to trust them to do their job and know that ultimately I'll be responsible for the work that they and everyone in my city hall does. Woo! Thank you. I can confirm to you the things that I've actually said and the things that I've actually done. And last night, I spoke to DSA members, sharing the same message that I've shared in public as well, which is that I do not believe this is the right time to wage this primary. Right now, my plans are to meet with the president and make the case. As soon as I have any more information, I'll share it. Well, I'll be ready for whatever happens.
Yeah, right here. Thank you. Mr. Mayor-elect, do you have any sense talk in to that president of where you might find some common ground on...
Sorry, would you mind saying that one more time?
Sure. Do you have any sense in advance where you might find common ground with the president on the agenda and the case that you want to present? And where do you think you might have the most success with him?
You know, last year, after the president won his second term, I went to two of the neighborhoods that saw the largest swings towards Republicans. And that was Hillside Avenue in Queens and Fordham Road in the Bronx. And when I asked those New Yorkers who they voted for and why, I met many who voted for President Trump, and they told me it was the affordability crisis. It was cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And they said that they remembered being able to afford their rent, their childcare, their Con Ed, their public transit more 4 years ago than they could in that moment. And we ran a campaign focused on the same thing, cost of living. And what we found actually is that 1 in 10 New Yorkers who voted for Trump ended up voting for our campaign. And they did so because they're looking for leaders to actually deliver on the cost of living crisis. That's why everything comes back to making the case for an affordability agenda. I will meet with anyone, I will speak to everyone, so long as it could stand to benefit an economic agenda for New Yorkers. And that's...
I think it's really interesting that Mamdani is very progressive socially, but it almost never comes up because he's never been inconsistent or hemmed and hawed about those issues. He's just taken them for granted. Like they're established, and like, why bother going over them? You know how he feels about them. And for that reason, he's basically unassailable. He's so unassailable on them that even though he's probably more radically pro-trans than 99% of Democratic officials, you know, no one talks about it with him. No one talks about it with him at all. You know, nobody challenges him on it. It's incredible, right? I guess in a way it shows that you're only really vulnerable on id pull issues if you make yourself vulnerable on id pull issues. If you're completely, unfailingly, shamelessly supportive, you get to plant your feet in the ground and nobody can really do anything about it. They have to move on to other stuff, you know? Bernie Sanders also has this. Yes, yeah, to a large extent, yeah, as well. Like, Bernie Sanders has been progressive for a long, long, long time. Bernie Sanders was pro-trans before trans people even existed, you know? But But it just doesn't come up that often with him. Not because it's not something that he cares about, you know. It's just not really something you can weaponize against him. It doesn't work. It doesn't sound good. I think focusing on social issues for criticism now is getting faux pas from the right. I mean, for me personally, and this is how I've felt for years now, I don't really talk about defending my progressive positions that much because I think they're obvious, and I think that if you disagree with them, you're a retard and beneath me. Like, and that should just be the general position. What am I going to do? Argue? Like these conservatives, you know, pretending to not understand the difference between sex and gender. They've been doing it for years. Why denigrate myself by pretending that they sincerely believe the shit they're saying, you know? It's all performative to them, right? I don't really give a fuck about arguing. It's just a straightforward position that I hold. How often do we've talked about the like progressive stuff a lot, but usually we're just interested in the subject. We're finagling the details, you know? To me, the idea of actually arguing them to a person who probably doesn't give a shit either way and is just trying to get a rise out of you, it's a fucking waste of time. Are there any economic socialists that are to the right in identity issues? No, not really. There are people who pretend to be, but much like liberal Zionists, they end up collapsing towards one position or another over time. Yeah, it's a fake ideology. If they're sincerely stupid, what can you do? Outperform them socially. Make them feel shame for being a retard. Eventually they give up, you know? You have to bully them, basically. Just make their life worse. I don't know.